He always had a big grin. It was as wide as his face, Leary recalled. My mother liked him. He was very popular. He was like a little imp. Leary said hello to the priest, received his friendly tap across the shoulder blades, and didn't focus on Gagan again until the summer. The rectory groundskeeper was Leary's friend, and Leary helped out a couple times a week, raking freshly mowed grass or gathering hedge clippings in a wheelbarrow. It was taxing work under an August sun, and one afternoon, Gagan bounded down the short steps of the rectory, offering a tall, cool glass of lemonade. Leary thanked the priest, but demurred. He didn't like lemonade. But the priest insisted, and sweetened the offer. He had a wonderful stamp collection that the boy might enjoy. Soon the priest and the boy were upstairs in Gagan's room at the rectory. Leary sat in a large leather chair in the middle of the room, and the priest handed him an oversized book that contained the stamp collection. The priest went to the back of the room, keeping up a constant reassuring patter. The collection did not hold the boy's interest, but Gagan pressed the matter. He said, "Here, I'll show you a few things." And he had me get up, and he sat down and I sat on his lap, said Leary. The priest placed his hand on Leary's knee and started turning pages that were a blur to the boy. Gagan told him that his mother had suggested the visit, but still, Gagan said, they should keep it a secret. All the while, the priest's hand climbed farther up Leary's leg until it reached under his cotton shorts and beneath his underwear. He was touching me, fondling me. I'm frozen. I didn't know what the hell was going on. He was talking constantly. He said, "Shut the book. Close your eyes. We'll say the Hail Mary." That's what I did. But before the prayer was finished, the boy darted from the room, hurried down the stairs, and found himself shaking behind the church. Within a week or so, it happened again. Leary was sweeping concrete next to the church when Gagan walked up, put his arm around the teenager, and told him how special he was. The priest then ushered Leary back into the rectory, where, Leary later said, he saw a scowling nun standing at the foot of the stairs. Gagan swept past the nun and directed Leary to the same chair in which the first attack had occurred. The shades were drawn against the summertime brightness. At first, the priest stood behind him, placing his hands on Leary's shoulders. He asked the boy to begin reciting the most familiar prayers of the Catholic faith, the Our Father and the Hail Mary. I'm praying, and I've got my eyes closed, and he moves over to the chair and pulls my pants down one leg, and I couldn't move. I was frozen. He had his shoulder on my chest at this point. He was praying, too, and I was saying prayers following him. I'm shaking. I felt very, very strange. I couldn't do anything. Gagan moved down the young boy's body and began to perform oral sex on him. I was trying to hold back the tears and keep saying my prayers and keep my eyes closed. I didn't see him do that. I remember being pushed back in my chair. The assault did not last long, perhaps only a minute, Leary estimated, before it was interrupted by a sudden commotion. Gagan stood straight up. The door flew open, and a priest with longish white hair started yelling at him. "Jack, we told you not to do this up here. What the hell are you doing? Are you nuts?" He was yelling and screaming, and I just remember floating out of that chair. Leary fled to a tree-shaded spot behind the school and tried to regain his composure. He sat for a while in a local cemetery, and when he finally went home, he went directly to his room. He didn't tell anyone about the assault for many years. Gagan had been a Catholic priest for a dozen years at the time Leary says Gagan sexually assaulted him. As he moved through parishes in and around Boston, from the edges of the city to the Tony suburbs beyond, he was known as Father Jack to the people in the pews. He baptized their babies. He celebrated their weddings. He prayed over their dead, sprinkling the caskets with holy water. On Saturday afternoons, he sat in the dark and, from behind a screen, listened to their sins and meted out their penance. On Sunday mornings, he delivered the Word of God to them. For faithful Catholic mothers,